On our action tonight, two of the First Division's most glamorous clubs. Players, too, who are capable of turning any match with brilliant skills.
Norton again. Oh, what a lovely long pass. Yes, a walk-in for O'Hara, the final pass from Brooks.
Varley out the open space is Varley. Still going, he's got the support too. And New Zealand will be in, no doubt about it. Oh, what a great try from Lualai.
Arkwright. Peters, can he get it out to Ledger? He can. Can he get past the fullback? He's going for the corner. He's made it. Holding. He's in. Surely. Yes, he's there.
Well, leading Hull tonight, standoff David Topless, still hopeful of lifting the Rugby League Championship for the second year running. But nothing short of a win at Knowsley Road will do. The Saints captain, Harry Pinner, desperately disappointed in losing to Wigan in the Cup last week, now aiming for a Premiership spot and personally for a place on the Great Britain Tour in the summer. So, Saints against Hull, and if it's as good as the cup tie between those two recently, then it'll be well worth staying up for. And talking of cup drama, we've got that pulsating finish at Odsal last night with Leeds going through to the semi-finals of the State Express, a try for them with just 2 minutes left. And in addition to all that, we'll be looking forward to this weekend's fixtures. But for now, it's back to Knowsley Road, where our commentators are David Oxley and Keith Macklin.
In 8th place now, and have won 4 of their last 5 Division 1 games, and coach Billy Bennion has got to lift them after that heartbreaking cup defeat. Gary Bottell is hooker in a team given another chance after Sunday. Hull come to Knowsley Road in 3rd place, looking for revenge for a 24-14 defeat here in the Challenge Cup, a match in which Harry Pinner dropped 4 goals. They're in 3rd place behind Hull KR and Warrington, and they're so keen to win, they stopped off for a training session at the Rothwell Sports Centre en route. Paul Rose has a leg injury, so Andy Dannett's in the front row. Here are the best moments from the first half. Arkwright. Oh, good short ball to Gawley. Good moving, Holding. Neil Holding. Got Haggerty. Haggerty's in for the first try.
Watch for this brilliant ball from Peter Gawley. Peter Gawley now on the ball, number 10. Beautifully timed pass to Neil Holding. He's got the legs. Great support play from number 4, Roy Haggerty. The line clear. An excellent try to open the scoring for Saints.
Clive Griffiths.
So, Saints off to a great start, leading 6 points to 0. 2 minutes later, Hull suffered another blow.
But Hull keep it going towards the halfway line. Edmonds really bounced, lost possession. And the penalty is awarded. Edmonds went down with a tremendous crack then. He really was bounced.
Phil Edmonds driving in towards the Saints defenders. 3 of them conversion. Harry Pinner, number 13, over the top. And up and over he goes, right on his neck. Now that looks very, very nasty indeed. He's clearly hurt as he goes down. The ball slips out. Not an intentional foul, but certainly very over-the play. Keith Timber warming up. Certainly Phil Edmonds is out of this game. A lot of experience out there. People who really know what they're doing. Standard of medical care in the game has improved enormously over the last 5 years or so. On the stretcher now. There's no more tragic sight than this on any sports arena. And everybody here clearly from the applause is hoping that Phil Edmonds will recover very quickly from what appears at the moment to be a pretty serious injury.
Well, things weren't happening for Hull at this stage. 3 minutes later, and another chance for St Helens to score.
It's over, 8-0.
So 8-0, and it was 16 minutes into the first half before Hull got a couple of points back.
Elusive first points. It looks a simple one, and taking over the kicking is yet again the league's leading try scorer. And it's over. Schofield kicks the goal. The man who's run over for 28 tries this season kicks a goal. Ball to Norton. Norton looking to get it out.
Hull clearly boosted by that Schofield penalty, really took the game to Saints.
Strong stuff this by Hull. Strong defence by the Saints. There's Norton. The long one again. Beauty taken. And Evans from Schofield. Can he make the corner? Referee goes across to talk to his touch judge. It's touching goal, the 25.
The long pass from number 3. Watch it. There he goes from Gary Schofield. Number 2, Evans, going for the corner, just held out by the defence. It's hung in the air just a bit too long for him.
So a close call for the St Helens defence, but 3 minutes later, the Humberside team did manage to reduce the deficit.
Schofield kicks it. 8-4. That's his 13th goal of the season. He's now kicked 10 in the last 3 games.
Yes, accurate kicking from Gary Schofield, which seemed to act as an incentive to Clive Griffiths.
Clive Griffiths. A good kick. 10-4. 50 place kick goes this season for Clive Griffiths, and a substitution by Saints as Steve Rule comes off and Sean Allen goes on.
That after that great milestone for Clive Griffiths, but soon after that there was another significant injury.
Pinner, good short ball to Gawley. Gawley still looking to move it to Arkwright. Arkwright. Oh, and was that a trip? The crowd indicates that it was, but it's an injury.
Chris Arkwright on the ball, the support there, and taken out. There he goes, down, number 11, Andy Platt, and Mr. Massey right on the spot. Quite clear that that was a penalty and a foul is given.
Scrum down inside the Hull half, and it's taken by Saints with Pinner. Holding! Nobody will stop him! Neil Holding will go all the way!
Oh, the genius for support and the searing face of number 7, Neil Holding. Wayne Proctor's after him. He's no chance. He's already signalling his joy. A superb try by number 7, Neil Holding, really tearing Hull apart when he's on the ball.
Neil Holding, one of the claimants for a place on the tour. His 14th try of the season.
Yes, devastating stuff from Neil Holding. So 14-4 to St Helens. Griffiths missed the conversion, by the way, but
Smith,
atoned in style.
Haggerty. Smith. Griffiths tries a long-range drop goal. What a beauty! That must be one of the best drop goals ever. A cracker.
Watch for number 5, Clive Griffiths. For him, this drop goal is on from the start. He'd no doubts about it. It's 40 yards, straight as a die. A superb drop goal by Clive Griffiths, edging Saints still further ahead.
So a useful lead for Saints as we approach half-time.
Again, safely taken by Kemble. That's Dane O'Hara trying to get into it to Schofield. There's the hooter to bring to an end a magnificently entertaining first half of rugby league football. St Helens 15, Hull 4.
So, what a dramatic finish to the first half, with St Helens stretching their interval lead thanks to that superb try by Neil Holding and Clive Griffiths' 40-yard drop. Well, it's really shaping up into quite a match, isn't it? Join us for the second half in a few moments and a quite... Welcome back, and what a cracking second half to look forward to at Knowsley Road, with St Helens leading Hull by 15 points to 4 thanks to those two marvellous tries. Well, as we rejoin David Oxley and Keith Macklin, there's 7 minutes gone, but there's no further score.
Eye. Number 4's obviously been torn off his jersey at some point. Norton. Dannett gets it moving. Proctor keeps it going to Luluai. Arquoy. These sides throwing the ball about as if it was a hot potato. But refreshing it is to see. Devorty. Luluai is acting halfback. Norton, topless. Again Norton. And inside to Dannett. Oh, what a great pass under the tackle. Campbell. Well, good stuff by Hull. Topless, keeping it moving. Can they keep it going? The ball charged down. That was a good interception. Just knocked the ball down. Haggerty.
Well, Saints will thank number 4, Roy Haggerty, for this. The try is on from the pass from Devorty. He knocks it to the ground. He gives away a scrum, but he saves 4 points.
Inside the St Helens 25, and Hull have a ball they want, but it's got lost somewhere in the middle. No, they've got it. Hull really hammering at the Saints line. Devorty firing it out to Schofield. Can he slip away? Yes, Gary Schofield going himself, and down, he's up. Is he over? Yes, Gary Schofield, sheer determination. His 29th try of the season.
Oh, the brilliant skills of this brilliant young man, Gary Devorty. Outside Roy Haggerty. Gary Schofield going for the corner, takes the tackle from Griffiths. He's not held, that's quite okay, and over he goes. Mr. Massey, there in the picture, quite certain, the 29th try for this brilliant young player.
Well, what a game we're getting at Knowsley Road tonight. Magnificent stuff from both sides, and that's just the try that Hull needed early in the second half. And a new pair of pants for Andy Dannett. Well, this is a difficult kick, but it would make it 15-10. Schofield can't add the goal to his try, but that really has put Hull back in the game. 18 years old, the league's leading try scorer with 29 tries. Holding kicks off. Campbell fields. Inside the Hull 25, Tyndall. And that try will have given them enormous heart. We've had great stuff from both these sides tonight. The first half belonged to St Helens, but Hull have come good in the second half. Topless. It's Fred Arcoy who sends a spinning ball down towards Ledger. Barry Ledger hasn't had many running chances, but he fielded that to the second attempt. Peters. John Smith. Pinner. Good short ball to Bottel. Almost got away. He got it to Peters. A lovely pass meant for holding, but he just couldn't hold it.
Watch how well Saints sustained this. The brilliant inside pass there to Steve Peters. His pass to that inevitable man, Neil Holding, just going to the ground and spoiling another brilliant movement by Saints.
Arcoy quickly out to Topless. Kemble tried the short kick. It's rolled loose. He may well have regained possession. And is being held. Mr. Matthew doesn't award a penalty. Lets Kemble play the ball. Proctor. All action stuff. Tyndall's ready to come on the burst. Big weighty front row forward. Inside the St Helens half. Fred Arcoy, Norton the short one. Dannett. Norton inside to Devorty. A good ball to Topless. It's the last one of this sequence of 6 tackles. Patrick throws it loose. The kick up high by Dannett. Underneath it, Holding takes it. St Helens near their own line. Gawley. Burke. Pinner trying to slip away inside his own 25. He plays the ball to himself, but very rapidly dumped. The kick by Holding, fielded by O'Hara, decides to try to go outside his man. Luluai. St Helens lead 15 points to 8, but Hull right back in this as a result of that Gary Schofield try. Outside the St Helens 25, Arcoy to Tyndall. Norton, good ball to Devorty. It's the last one of the 6 tackle sequence. Arcoy asks for it, sends up that high spinning ball, and well taken by Griffiths, who's got a bit of a bang in that. Timeout.
Fred Arcoy hoisting an enormous kick. Great play by Clive Griffiths. There he comes. Total concentration. Great courage. He does get a bang as he goes down, but the ball is secured.
Clive Griffiths recovers to play the ball, sufficiently to play the ball anyway, but he still looks a bit groggy. Well, Hull are going hard into the tackle. Bottel. Smith. Gawley. Up to the 25, but no further than Keith Tyndall. Arkwright. Oh, again, it's Holding away. He's going to take on Campbell, but a good tackle by the New Zealand fullback. Saints keep it moving. Arkwright. Chris Arkwright. Bottel. Perpetual motion, this. Pinner tries to drop. It's over. Harry Pinner.
Chris Arkwright continuing this brilliant move by Saints, and how well he gets that ball away in the tackle to Battelle. Now watch Harry Pinner, number 13, lining himself up. He did this 4 times in the cup tie to compound all the time in the world he's made for himself, straight between the posts.
And that was Harry Pinner's 8th drop goal of the season, and you can't take your eye off this game for a second. That's Smith putting that out. They all want the ball. They're all hungry for it. They all want to be involved. That's Arkwright. Again, the useful short ball. Haggerty's brought down. Griffiths is coming up to kick this. Goes for the touchline one. Oh, what a good one. Over the top of Steve Evans. Well, there isn't any of the arts of rugby league that we haven't seen tonight. That found touch 12 to 15 yards from the Hull line. St Helens 16, Hull 8. And it's a penalty. The waving of the arm indicating it's an indirect one, so Saints will play the ball and drive towards the line. That's Tony Burke. Holding. Smith, Pinner. 8 yards away from the line. St Helens leading 16-8, looking for another try to stretch their lead again. This is Haggerty, Roy Haggerty, and he's down 3 yards away. Pinner trying another drop. Off the post. Schofield.
It's an impossible angle, but he almost does it again. Just striking the inside of the post.
Well, unfortunate that for Harry Pinner, wasn't it? He's always looking for those sort of opportunities. We actually rejoined the game 5 minutes later. Now Hull have got possession in what was a thoroughly entertaining match. The Humbersiders pressing strongly.
McCoy trying to break through a wall of defenders. Devorty. Topless. Norton. There's the short one, bringing in Dannett. And that's 6 tackles. And this game has been played at so fast a pace that there haven't been many changeovers, but there's an injury. It's Andy Dannett.
Number 10, Andy Dannett, had a great hard-working game here. He's on the ball looking for the support, which isn't there once again. Goes down with his knee underneath him. It's the knee that's hurt. Hopefully not too seriously, but there, he's in agony there. There's no doubt about that. All over his face, it's written. Helping hand from Gary Battelle, who he carried on his back for 5 or 6 yards in that move. No question of a foul. Gary Battelle tackled fairly enough. But sad to see this very promising young forward on the touchline. Looks as though that left knee fell under him in the tackle.
The Hull sub is a back. Neil Puckering, who played in several games at the start of the season. Burke for St Helens. Holding, getting it out. Tackling hard. This is Smith moving it. Round has lost possession. So Hull have it. They're 16-8 behind. They've got a penalty. Griffiths accused of not allowing him to play the ball, so Gary Schofield is going to kick at goal. If he lands it, he'll make it 16-10, and that will statistically take Hull to within one score and a goal of St Helens. Schofield looking for his third goal of this game. Yes, 16-10 it is. So as Gary Schofield, who scored a try and 3 goals, all the points for Hull tonight. And they're certainly back in it at 16-10. Just inside the Hull 25. Hull now will go looking for the try, which, if the goal was kicked, would put them level. The first half certainly belonged to St Helens, but Hull have come back so strongly in the second half. They've pulled back from 15-4 to 16-10, and they're in possession. That's the substitute, Neil Puckering. Minutes remaining for St Helens to make this game safe, and for Hull to pull it out of the fire. And it's been such a marvellous end-to-end game. It could go either way in this last 10 minutes. It's St Helens in possession, inside their own 25. Pinner trying a sidestep, gets over the 25. Chris Harkright. St Helens won't want a repetition of Sunday, where they appear to have the game against Wigan won, but lost it in the last 10 minutes. Inside pass to Barry Ledger from Peters, but he didn't get away from Luluai. Smith to Haggerty. Griffiths is going to kick. Just hung in field, bounced the wrong way for St Helens, the right way for Hull. Campbell. Patrick going himself. How many hookers in this game like to do that? Ryan Noble, Graham Liptrant, Bobby Spur, now Sean Patrick, juggled by Fred Arcoy. Devorty. Changed his mind a couple of times then. Could well have been selling a dummy. Norton. Inside to Luluai. Hull lucky getting a rebound, so they get 6 more. Tackles. Puckering. Arcoy. Tense last 9 minutes as Hull go looking for the try that could bring them level. Devorty takes it twice, tries a long one to Schofield. Schofield, a good centre's break. He's so talented, this young man. Sees the gap and goes for it. Classic centre burst. And it puts Hull over the Saints 25, moving it left very rapidly. Norton, Kemble's up in the line. Topless. Again the long one, again to Schofield, but a very good tackle Devotee, high in the air, the testing one for the defence. Taken by Peters and a penalty. Tyndall was offside. Griffiths finds touch around the 25. An anxious last 8 minutes for St Helens. It's one of those occasions where 8 minutes will seem like an eternity for St Helens and will go in the twinkling of an eye for Hull. Burke. Holding. Pinner. Peters. Just inside the St Helens half. Gawley. Good strong burst by Peter Gawley. Takes play inside the Hull half. Smith to Holding. Holding bangs it deep. But it's sitting up and begging for Campbell. Gary Campbell always at his best when running from deep positions. Patrick to Norton to Topless. Arcoy. Luluai. That's Proctor. Arcoy puts his head down, gets as far as the halfway line. Norton sells the dummy, gets the ball out. Proctor moved it. No knock on, said the referee. Luluai. Hull grafting forward into the St Helens half. Norton changing the direction and couldn't get the ball out. Well smothered by Arkwright. Patrick to Devotee. Devotee high into the floodlights. Bouncing, they left it between the two of them. It's covered. Just 5 minutes to full time, but I can't imagine anyone drifting to the exits in this one. It's been a superbly entertaining game of rugby league football, and it's still anybody's game. St Helens have their noses in front, 16-10, but it's just one try and a goal away from Hull. St Helens inside their own 25. Gawley. The clearance kick. Beautifully taken by Evans. Inside the Saints half again. Hull going forward as they have done almost the whole of this half. Saints may yet have good cause to be grateful for Harry Pinner's drop goal. That's Tyndall. Arcoy, the long one to Luluai. He's brought down. There's been some powerful tackling on both sides tonight. O'Hara over the 25. Devotee. Norton quickly to Schofield. Schofield to Luluai. Keeps it moving. Patrick to Schofield. Schofield still running to Luluai. Inside to O'Hara. Penalty. David.
Well, Mr. Massey obviously decided that that forward pass was deliberately forward. The pass was alleged to have been deliberately forward to a man in an offside position. Therefore, Mr. Massey's decision was a penalty, not a scrimmage. Hull didn't like it, and he took them 10 yards further.
Hull have it again, and they were getting very close then with that movement. What a game, and what a finish. Patrick to Norton. Devotee. Both sides have given their all. Marquoy. St Helens defending tigerishly and determinedly. Hull doing everything they can to get the score that could pull them level. Devotee using the dummy, getting it to Luluai, to O'Hara, keeping the ball moving. Devotee, despite the tackle, gets it away to Tyndall, who goes towards the 25, to Proctor. Arcoy, the ball knocked down, so Arcoy will get 6 more. Hit a defender, knocked down by a defender, 6 more tackles as Hull go almost desperately for this equalising try. That was a hard pass. You couldn't really expect Gary Schofield to take that one, but Hull have got to throw everything into attack. They've got to keep the ball moving at any angle. Certainly a game tonight. It's a pity either side has to lose it. They've both given everything. And St Helens, what a relief to get that one. John Smith. Just 1 minute of normal time remaining. St Helens have it. Hull want to get their hands on this ball. St Helens to retain possession. Can't imagine St Helens will try anything at all dangerous now. There's Holding going for Mac. Harvey's got away! Neil Holding kicks past Campbell. Neil Holding, can he do it? Yes! Oh, what a try! Oh, what a way to finish it off. A dream of a try from Neil Holding.
Sheer brilliance from this marvellous little player, number 7, Neil Holding. Bursting outside Pockering's tackle, keeping his head, drawing Gary Kemble. The ball does sit up nicely for him, and Gary's tackle is just too late. What a marvellous individual try. And referee Massey well up with play.
The crowd came on then to salute Neil Holding, who pulled a rabbit out of a hat there. Clive Griffiths to put the finishing touches to a marvellous finish, to a marvellous game. 22 points to 10. 1 minute Hull are attacking with a chance of equalising. Next minute, the second piece of magic in this game from Neil Holding appears to have put it away. But the whole code of rugby league should give a vote of thanks to these two sides tonight. They've given us a superb game. A scoreline which does credit to St Helens, but isn't totally fair to Hull. And let's be fair to the Hull fans too. Their side are down 22-10, but they're still singing Old Faithful. They know that Hull have done their best tonight. Puckering. It took that peach of an individual try from Neil Holding. It's the second try of the game. I don't say to kill them off, because the way this game has gone, that's, oh, crossing ruins that move. And that form of obstruction known as crossing, as one player crosses another and gets in the eye line of the defence. Griffiths wallops that into touch. A few more seconds. Drift away from Hull. We're in the second minute of added time. And no one, apart from perhaps the St Helens players, will want this game to end. John Smith. Arkwright. to Pinner. Pinner gets it out to Arkwright. St Helens in possession inside the Hull half. For them, the best place to have it when you're in the lead 22 points to 10. And Pinner finds... Does he find touch? Yes, it rolls into touch. A beautiful grubber. There's the hooter at the end of a superbly entertaining, magnificent game. And let's go over to the undoubted man of the match, Neil Holding, who's with John Helms.
Well, Neil, that was an absolutely marvellous game to watch. What was it like to play in?
Very fast. I think the lads did well. They did a great job at tackling, which 90% of the game was. And we capitalised very well on the chances that we took. So I think that the result, if it had gone against us, it would have been a poor one. But we've got the points tonight, and the points are on the board, so look out for Warrington now next Tuesday. And
it was a very important game for you, coming on the heels of a cup defeat against Wigan.
That's right. I think if we'd have lost, which there was no doubt that we wasn't going to lose, but if we had lost, everybody's heads would have gone down. The thing is to pick up now. Like you said, the defeat against Wigan knocked us back a little bit, but the thing is, pick our heads up and start going again and try and get in the top 8.
Now, what about those 2 tries? I think you reserve those, especially for television, don't you?
Well, like I said, I didn't do my dance tonight. I was a bit tired after that second one. The first one from a scrum, which Harry fed me a good ball, and I just run on the outside. And the second one, there was a gap at acting half-back. I took it up to him, and as I seen Campbell advancing me, I just chipped him. And really, the look of the bounce, which he not had for a good while, it bounced into my hand just right and across the line.
Now, anybody who's seen you on the Rugby League road shows know you're a fair impressionist. Who are you going to be giving impressions of tonight, do you reckon?
Anybody who wants to give anybody. I'm pleased over the moon for the lads and for Billy and for the spectators. I mean, if tonight we've won, and hopefully with the spectators getting behind us again, showing that we are a good team, really. It was just a freak accident last week. I think they'll come back and they'll be pleased with us.
Are you going to give us a quick Michael Crawford on the way into the dressing room, then?
Well, I might do, but I've got to go and have a bet now. See you later. Goodbye.
Well, he can afford to smile, can't he? Neil Holding there, the undoubted man of the match, talking to John Helm. And on that display, I'm sure Holding must fancy his chances of going to Australia. But what of those 2 first-half injuries that turned out to be stretcher cases? Well, first of all, let's have a look at Phil Edmonds, the Hull front row forward. An absolutely crunching tackle, this, and it really did look very serious at the time. Ooh, well, I mean, that could well have been a broken collarbone, maybe something a little more serious. And even though Phil was stretchered off, I'm happy to report no serious damage, although he will miss the game at Leeds, along with Andy Dennett, on Wednesday. Well, this is the moment here when St Helens' Andy Platt is laid out. He's been in tremendous form, particularly in the cut room. Don't actually see really what happened there, but again, very glad to report nothing seriously wrong. In fact, it's only a dead leg, and Andy was stretchered off. It was a bit dramatic because he is expected to play against Warrington on Tuesday. So, overall, a great night for St Helens, although Hull will be more than just a little bit disappointed, of course. It means they lose further ground on the leaders, their great rivals, Hull Kingston Rovers, while St Helens can now think seriously about a place in the Premiership playoffs. One result tonight in Division 2, Workington 36, Batley 8, and a great boost that for Workington's promotion hopes. Well, last night at Oddsall, Leeds reached the semi-finals of the State Express Challenge Cup by defeating Bradford Northern 12 points to 10. At one stage, Northern looked to have won it, but then came a most dramatic finale, and John Helm was there to see it.
With Northern leading 10-6 for most of the second half, Leeds looked to be on their way out of the competition. But with just 2 minutes to go, Kevin Squire plunged over for a try to bring the scores level. Northern felt there was a knock on there, but referee Robin Whitfield, right on the spot, he awarded the try, which sent the Leeds fans wild with delight. So, everything depended then on the boot of David Creaser, and the young centre duly obliged with a beauty of a kick. But even then, there was a final twist in the tale. Bradford were awarded a penalty. Could there possibly be another replay? Well, Dean Carroll was entrusted with the kick, but like Steve Parish, who'd missed 3 easy kicks before him, Carroll had left his shooting boots at home. The hooter went, Leeds were through to the semi-finals.
So the lineup for the Challenge Cup semi-finals are now complete. It'll be Leeds against Widnes and Wigan against York. Well, what of the league fixtures this weekend? Let's take a look at the top games coming up. Can Bradford Northern pick themselves up after that shattering experience against Leeds last night? With class players like Keith Mumby around, they should beat Wakefield nonetheless.
That's the third try. Keith Mumby.
Talking of disappointments, how will Castleford react to their cup defeat at York? They're at home to Featherstone, who showed plenty of grit and determination last week.
Moving it left. And almost, that could be a try, they're in! Bobby Spur again.
Warrington will start favourites at Oldham. The strong running of Ronnie Dwayne is a major reason for their recent success.
Nichols, Tozer, two drops, and this is good handling by Warrington. They're keeping it moving, and that's a terrific break by Ronnie Dwayne, and nobody will catch him. Ronnie Dwayne's in for a try.